Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Jessica Katanga, and in today's video I am joined by a very special guest, my dad, and today we're going to be talking all about prostate cancer. Now, in terms of cancer in general, a lot of people say that it's not really something that affects black people and it's more of a white person problem. Is that true or?
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Katanga. Actually, that's not true. Mostly, prostate cancer affects black men than any other race in terms of research which has been done.
Yeah, so that's true actually. And the reason why we're talking about prostate cancer today is because, well, in the UK, 140 men are diagnosed every day. It's the most common cancer in the UK, and around the world, it's the second most common cancer. And as you said, black men are more likely to get prostate cancer. So in today's video, we're going to talk about what the prostate is. We're going to talk to my dad. We're going to ask him what his story with prostate cancer was like. So from diagnosis to treatment to life after treatment. I have done this video in English and in Swahili. I'll leave the link above and the information is accessible. But before we get into that, Dad, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Yasiri Katanga, and when I was diagnosed, I was 64 years old. And now this came by chance. I didn't know that I had prostate cancer. I had no symptoms until my blood was tested at my GP. And afterward they said my PSA, which is prostate specific antigen, have gone high. Therefore, I said, doing some tests, and they found out I must go to the hospital for radical prostatectomy.
So you had no symptoms?
No symptoms at all whatsoever.
So that shows that it's really important that you go to your screening and your doctor's appointments, because prostate cancer, you typically do not get any symptoms. So that's really good that you went to the doctors. Before we go into more about your treatment and things, firstly, I'll just say what the prostate is. So the prostate is a small sexual organ that sits just underneath the bladder. Prostate cancer, as we said, is the most common cancer in this country, second most common in the world. So you said that you need to go for a radical prostatectomy. And now prostatectomy is a type of surgery. So in terms of treatments, with cancer in general, it's usually either surgery, radiotherapy, where they treat it with a certain type of radio wave in order to get rid of it, or it's chemotherapy. And treatment is always dependent on what type of cancer you have and whether it's spread or not. And with prostate cancer, most men live with prostate cancer and it's not an issue. So you're divided into low risk, medium risk, and high risk. And that's based on how it looks underneath the microscope, on what your PSA levels are in your blood, and how it feels on examination. So were you low risk, medium risk, or high risk?
Now, I was told I was high risk, but my prostate cancer was still localized. Therefore, it was easier it would be more advisable for me to go for radical prostatectomy, because it means everything can be removed in one go. And they use the Da Vinci, whereby it is a robot surgery, whereby they don't have to cut you, except they put some probes in your tummy and they can see on the computer and they make sure that it is removed completely.
Nice. So radical just means take everything out. Prostatectomy means we're taking the prostate out. And as you said, it's through your tummy. So it was keyhole surgery.
It was indeed.
So we've really made leaps and bounds in terms of the surgery. I think that's really good to know that it was keyhole, because that's a little bit, less scary, I guess.
There was no pain, no symptoms after the surgery, and next day I was able to get out of hospital.
Wow.
By walking.
How did you feel when you got the diagnosis of cancer?
Obviously, I was a bit anxious, and the word cancer scared me. But I had the support from my consultant, from the medical staff, and my family. And luckily, my daughter is a doctor, and she gave me so much reassurance, say, Daddy, the best cancer, if there was a choice, it would be prostate cancer, because that could be contained. Therefore, I took her word for it, and so far, so good.
And so you say how your family was your support system, but I thought really, as a man or man of the household, you're not really meant to tell your family your problems or tell other people your problems.
Now, actually, we need to get away from this taboo whereby people to show their manhood or their macho is to hide their health conditions. If I can talk publicly and people to understand, therefore, people can go for diagnosis. They can know actually this is a common condition whereby if they get help, they can be able to get cured or to get helped quicker rather than later.
Yeah, that's true. So when you went into hospital, how were the staff with you and how did you feel afterwards?
Now, by going to hospital, I was the first in the morning. About 6 o'clock, I was already in. Therefore, I was going to be the first one to be done. The supportive staff there, you got the team. They get counselors. They ask you so many questions, and they ask you if you want to go through with it or not up to the last minute. Now, actually, I was able to say yes, and they asked me if I could go on the stretcher to go to the surgery room. I said no, I walked in there, lay in the bed. They gave me like epidural in my back, whereby you don't feel pain during surgery and after. And actually, I've never felt anything, except you see the catheter will be in your tummy, the blood will be coming out, but that's temporarily. And actually, there was a catheter connected to my bladder whereby for 10 days I was using a catheter for urine, but afterwards it was removed and it was done as normal as I can, and I've never felt anything. And something else which is very, very fortunate, I've never had any incontinence at all.
Okay, so yeah, you're going into the side effects a bit. So in terms of the prostatectomy, when they take the prostate out, the side effects let's say we can split it into urinary side effects. So sometimes leaking or incontinence or not feeling satisfied after you've gone to the toilet. You can have erectile dysfunction or bowel dysfunction. Did you experience any of those side effects?
Fortunately, none of those.
That's really good to hear. And so how is life after treatment?
Now, life after treatment, it is very, very good because you feel that risky is gone. And for me, it has been good that I can talk about it to other people. And some people have accepted my talk and they've gone for diagnosis to make sure that they are safe. And that actually some people say, thank you for being open. And I hope this video makes sure that other men can go for diagnosis, early diagnosis, because when the age is on your side, likelihood of being free from prostate cancer is higher.
So the main risk factors for prostate cancer are advanced age, being black, as we said, and if you have a family history of cancer, but as you rightly said, the younger you are, and the faster you get the you catch it, then the likelihood of survival is increased. But again, the rate of survival is very, very high, especially in the UK. 78% of men survive their prostate cancer for over 10 years. And most people are living with their prostate cancer rather than despite it. So that's amazing. And I feel like this conversation has been really great for you to kind of answer and tell us more about your story. So what would you say to somebody who thinks that cancer, they could never be in that position?
Actually, sometimes these cancers, you have no choice or you have nothing. It's like having a fever. Anyone can get a fever. Anyone can get headache. And cancer or prostate cancer could affect anyone. It doesn't choose. And there's no mystical about it. Anyone can get it. But therefore, diagnosis becomes very, very important for everyone to be able to go and check it. Especially if you're an African person of origin, at the age of 50, you should go and check. If you're free, that's fantastic. But if you're not, then you can get treatment. And don't wait for symptoms, because sometimes there are no symptoms at all. Therefore, just go there, like in the MOT of a car, be safe from it. And if you catch earlier, the survival rate is very, very high indeed.
That's amazing. Exactly. Going to your doctor's appointment, especially as a black man or any older man, is just think of it as an MOT. It's not anything scary. It's just for you to be aware, because really knowledge is power, and a lot of things can be done, but we just need to know what we're dealing with, and that can give you that reassurance. And then on the other hand, what's one thing you'd like to say to any men who are in a similar position, in terms of they've just found out that maybe they have cancer, and how, if you take yourself back to that mindset of how you were feeling, your anxieties and everything, what would you like to say to that man?
For me, I would tell them, just put, now you've got it. You can't do anything about it. Therefore, what the next step should be taken. Now, you must be positive about it, because then something has to be done. Doing nothing is not an option. Just go to your doctor, your GP. They'll do whatever they can in the best way possible to show you the ways whereby they can help you. And the team in this country, very, very supportive. They will be able to help you in one way or the other.
Amazing. So doing something about it. And when we say doing something about it, it's not necessarily that it's going to end up in surgery or radiotherapy, because again, as I said, most people are living with their prostate cancer and it's more surveillance. But again, that's just a conversation that you'll have with your own doctor, and you and your doctor together can make a plan so that you can live your best healthy life. So thank you so much, Dad, for joining us. This was an amazing conversation, and I really feel like we have helped someone today. Please if you like this video, comment down below anything that you've learnt, or anything that you didn't know before. Please share this with your family members, especially if you're in the Black community. Share this with uncles, your dads, your brothers, because this is a conversation that we really need to be having in our community, because knowledge is power, and when we have the knowledge of these things, we'll be able to fight it as a collective. And make sure you subscribe so you can see the other videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Thank you.